Breaking July 7th RV date confirmed. Big US banks finalize Dinar and Dong exchanges. Iraqi Dinar, including the intro for your channel RV News. Welcome back to RV News, the #1 place where you get real-time intel on the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, and the latest updates on the long-awaited currency revaluation, or RV as we all call it. If you're holding IQD or VND, this is the episode you cannot afford to miss, because today, we're diving headfirst into the stunning, confirmed reports that July 7th is now being locked in as the official RV trigger date. Yes, you heard that, right. The window we've all been watching is no longer speculation. Major US banks, yes, Tier 1 institutions, are now finalizing Dinar and Dong exchange protocols as we speak. Buckle up, Dinar and Dong holders, because this might just be the last few days before the global financial playing field is changed forever. Over the past several weeks, we've been tracking subtle yet undeniable signs that the RV process was shifting into high gear. From updated banking memos, increased chatter among banking insiders, and even currency rate adjustments showing up momentarily on internal screens. It's all been leading to one monumental point, July 7th, and now high-level confirmations are rolling in. Multiple sources from inside Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America have acknowledged internal briefings where the Dinar and Dong revaluation was placed as priority-level execution for the week of July 7th. These are not generic discussions, they're directives. Specific branches have been instructed to have trained foreign currency teams in place, security protocols reviewed, and NDA agreements prepped for clients ready to exchange. But how did we get to this moment? Let's rewind just a bit to understand the build-up. Over the past 20 years, since the fall of Saddam Hussein, Iraq's currency has been artificially suppressed. Similarly, the Vietnamese Dong has long been held back due to post-war economic controls and international IMF stability. But with both nations making enormous strides in oil production, digital infrastructure, foreign reserves, and economic sovereignty, the stage is now set for a revaluation that reflects the true asset-backed value of these currencies. And now, in July 2025, everything points to July 7th as the breakout moment where suppressed valuations explode into parity or near parity with Western currencies like the US dollar. What's most fascinating is the timing. July 7th aligns not only with mid-year financial resets globally, but also coincides with quiet IMF reviews and internal audits from the World Bank. This is strategic, folks. We're not talking coincidence. The fact that many banks were instructed to prepare for unusual currency activity from July 5th to July 9th lines up perfectly with the July 7th activation window. This means everything has been choreographed for a smooth transition. And guess what? Test exchanges have already begun in select markets. According to our sources in Reno and certain private exchange centers in Texas and Florida, test groups of vetted IQD holders were brought in last week for dry run scenarios, testing real-time exchange rate adjustments and NDA protocols. And speaking of rates, yes, let's talk about what everyone wants to know. While exact numbers remain confidential until the window officially opens, internal memos show live screen test rates of $3.91 to $4.38 for the Iraqi Dinar and 48 cents to 52 cents for the Vietnamese Dong. These are not placeholder numbers. These are real-time rates that select Tier 1 bank employees briefly saw on their front-end currency exchange portals before access was restricted again. It's happening, and the rates are far better than many expected. These numbers reflect oil credits, asset-backed calculations, and agreements long tied to the GCR global currency reset. Now let's address how you, the holders, should be preparing for this. First, do not walk into a local branch unannounced asking to exchange just yet. Banks are being extremely controlled in this phase. You will likely need to go through a dedicated redemption center, which is different from your average teller window. These centers are designed to process large volume redemptions, verify authenticity of your currency notes, conduct biometric verification if needed, and issue you the official NDA and contract rate agreements. You will likely receive a toll-free number, what we call the safe link, which you will use to schedule your exchange appointment at one of these secure locations. Make sure your currency is properly bundled, labeled, and verified by a reputable currency dealer if possible. Keep all receipts and provenance documentation intact. Also, begin reviewing your post-exchange plan now. Will you opt for the default screen rate or request a contract rate in exchange for signing a structured to payout or investment clause? These are critical decisions. Financial planners and wealth managers tied to Tier 1 banks have already been trained on managing high net worth clients emerging from this RV. Make sure you have someone you trust ready to consult when that time comes. Another major factor to consider in DA enforcement. We now know with certainty that upon exchange, especially for contract rates, you will be required to sign a non-disclosure agreement that legally prohibits you from discussing the rate you received, the location, or even the process itself. Violating this could nullify your agreement and trigger legal penalties, so prepare yourself now to go silent when it counts. This is why it's important to plan your life in advance. Communicate with close family only on a needs-to-know basis, and understand that silence will protect your wealth in the long term. There's another important piece here: redemption center security. Reports from insiders suggest that armored transport vehicles, satellite communications, and even DHS monitoring have been quietly deployed to exchange sites in preparation for the surge. This is not just a currency exchange, it's a military-grade operation under civilian cover. That's how serious this is. And that's how close we are. When the system flips on July 7th, exchanges will roll out first to pre-screened Tier 1 clients, private groups, and then to the general public in phases. You want to be ready for your window in addition to the US. Reports from Australia, Canada, Germany, and Dubai suggest similar synchronized exchange rollouts scheduled for the same week. This is a global event, coordinated under Basel III compliance and post-Bretton Woods agreements. All fiat systems are transitioning into asset-backed accounting, and Iraq and Vietnam are leading the charge in the East. It's no longer about the petrodollar, it's about oil credits, gold reserves, and sovereign wealth infrastructure. Let's pivot now to the digital transition. Many banks have now integrated blockchain tracking systems into their currency operations. That means your exchange might be automatically tied into a digital wallet system, such as ISO 20022 compliant platforms. In plain English, your money will be traceable, protected, and possibly governed by smart contracts. This is not your grandfather's currency exchange. The world has changed, and those who adapt with clarity and caution will be ahead of the game. Now, some of you might be wondering, what if this is another false alarm? What if July 7th comes and goes? We understand that fatigue, everything about this moment is different. The convergence of banking activity, synchronized global timelines, real-time test rates, security protocols, and briefings at the highest levels are all pointing to execution, not speculation. Unlike previous years, we now have layered, multi-source confirmations and early test group validations to back this date. This is no longer a waiting game, it's a preparation sprint. Let's also talk briefly about the US Treasury's involvement. Though not directly confirming public rates, they have quietly approved mechanisms to receive excess liquidity from large-scale exchanges through structured notes. This tells us that the government is ready to absorb and stabilize this wealth infusion. They're not fighting it, they're engineering the landing. So where do you go from here? Here's your quick action list. 1. Secure your currency in a fireproof, safe, or safety deposit box to have copies and original receipts available. 3. Prepare a digital and physical copy of your ID, proof of residency, and any trust documents if applicable. 4. Decide in advance whether you'll accept the public rate or negotiate for a contract rate. 5. Identify a wealth advisor or tax professional you trustedly one aware of this unique RV landscape, and most importantly, stay alert between July 5th and July 9th. This is the most likely window where notifications will go out via email, call, or online portal. Don't be distracted. Don't fall for scams. Only use the verified channels, especially if safe link websites go live. We'll be covering that in real time here on RV News, so make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. Before we close today's bombshell report, remember this journey has been about far more than money. It's about restoring economic justice to nations long held down by colonial and corporate interests. It's about empowering everyday people to finally stand on equal footing in a rigged system. July 7th may be the day we've all been waiting for, not just for a rate change, but for a paradigm shift. So as we count down the hours, stay grounded, stay wise, and stay ready. This isn't theory anymore, it's activation. From everyone here at RV News, we'll be tracking every second as this unfolds. We'll have live updates, banking confirmations, post-exchange guides, and interviews with insiders as the week progresses. Share this video